What's going good, guys? Your boy here, though, Chris Phoenix. Before I even my little video here, to wish you all Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, whatever the hell you celebrate. This holiday season, just stay safe and hope you all have fun and all that. And it's a good time. I'm sitting here, people are, I'm bored this Christmas. Meanwhile, you're saying what do you want? Like, freaking, you're at work or you're at school or something. You're all like, oh, I'm bored here. I can't wait till vacation happens. Vacation happens. I'm bored. Like, sheesh. Anyways, you guys saw my last video was basically the 2012, in the year in review. Got a little series going on. I know before, I think I said I was going to make it a 4-part series. I changed my mind. I'm going to make it a 3-part series. Obviously the first one was about AJ. As you see by the title, this one's about CM Punk, the WWE Champion. And the next one will be about the positives and negatives of what happened this year, including, some storylines that we all sat there going, who cares? And we saw some storylines that, okay, it wasn't bad. And then we saw some matches that, oh, this was good. And then we saw matches and we're going, wow, this was a waste of our time. But that's for next video, and that'll probably be my last video of 2012. My last video of 2012. So, let's kick it off. As y'all know, in the title, it's about CM Punk. And we all know CM Punk's had the championship ever since November of 2011, guys. So it's well over a calendar year of, CM Punk being WWE Champion. And I gotta admit, at first, I wasn't the biggest fan of the idea of Punk being WWE Champion. Here's the reason why. For me, he was kind of getting stale and like, I know people are going to be like, what are you talking about? Hear me out. The reason why I'm saying this is because the fact that, especially when John Laurinaitis, John Laurinaitis, who, I'm not going to lie, miss his heel character on, WWE television. I'm just seeing John Laurinaitis, no homo. But, the fact that, every time John Laurinaitis come out, they're like, well, it happened for you all night. And Punk will come out and perform non-stop. And it was same thing every single week. And I sat there going, okay, why do you have to have this every single week? We get it, Punk. You don't like John Laurinaitis. You think he's a loser. He wasn't much, when he was, in his pro wrestling career in the mainstream. Okay, we get it. But it was just like, shoved down our throats that he didn't like John Laurinaitis. So it was just sat there going, wow, But, nothing against that, meaning that, his performance in the ring was still good. He did get better afterwards, after the whole Johnny Ace, situation. After all that, his mic skills, I think, for me, got better. And, it was more interesting. We saw matches, him and Daniel Bryan and him and Dolph Ziggler. We saw him and Jericho at WrestleMania. We saw good matches from CM Punk. But, I know a lot of people were upset because, CM Punk was the WWE Champion and he wasn't main eventing, the pay-per-views. He was main eventing, Raw and, occasionally if he was on SmackDown. But, he wasn't in main eventing, the pay-per-views. And I know a lot of people were upset about that. And I know where you come from being upset about that, but you gotta look at it as this. For example, I use this as a main example, really. WrestleMania, Rock versus Cena. I think it's CM Punk, but who do you think the majority of the audience is gonna want to watch? John Cena and The Rock, or CM Punk and Chris Jericho? Nothing against those Jericho or CM Punk. I think both of them are, work well together in the ring. They work well separately in the ring. And, they're good. They had a good match at WrestleMania. But, what's the real money catch going to be? John Cena versus The Rock. Because The Rock has the older wrestling fans behind him. And, John Cena usually has majority of the younger, wrestling fans going for him. So, for marketing-wise, it made sense to have Cena and Rock over CM Punk and Chris Jericho, in the main event of Mania. So. But, other matches, kind of like Cena and Kane, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, wait, that didn't make sense. You should have had maybe Punk, defending the WWE Championship in the Elimination Chamber, alright, for crying out loud. The pay-per-view is called Elimination Chamber for a reason, alright? That should be the main event, that would That would make more sense. So, anyways, and then you had Punk, you know, something in that love storyline with AJ, you know, him saying, "No, he digs crazy chicks," you know, and it was alright, but you know, I think for some reason when I look back at it, I look at Punk's expression. He looked like he didn't want to be in that storyline. I mean, I know now he praises AJ, seems to agree. Granted, you did make out with her like 4 different times on camera, but you know, it's just, you know, it was alright. It was different. You know, I'd give WWE credit. They just went a little different with Punk, but you know, I just think he didn't really necessarily needed that. You know, he didn't need to be in a love storyline. He was a WWE champion. You know, he should have been more focused about that. And, you know, and you also got Paul Heyman as his, you know, his manager, his representative. I think that's good. And the reason why, you know, I don't want to sound like an internet mark saying this, but Paul Heyman is a good, you know, person, you know, guy to have invested in you. I mean, look what happened to Brock Lesnar. You know, look what happened, you know, with the Big Show when he was champion. You know, Paul Heyman can make you like a god type of deal on the mic, type of thing. And, you know, it's just, you know, not saying Punk needed that, because, you know, Punk was already, like I said before, he was good, everything on the mic, but, you know, it is what it is, you know. I think Heyman did help Punk, and, you know, I think he did a good job. And I still think he's doing a good job, and we all know, you know, everyone's worried, oh, Punk, what if he loses at the Royal Rumble, you know, what if he loses to Ryback? He ain't losing to Ryback, you know, we all know Rock's probably going to screw Ryback out of there so that he could face Punk at the Rumble. That'll probably mean Ryback's going to be in the Rumble match, and he's probably going to eliminate like 15 people at once, but bear with me here. You know, is there a chance of Punk retaining at the Rumble? Yes, I think there's a chance. Huge chance? No. But, you know, and I know some other people want to see, you know, possibly Punk versus Taker. To me, that'd be entertaining, but I don't think it's going to work because, A, Taker's not going to want to work a full schedule because he's going to be champion if that did happen, and 2, the only problem with that is that I don't, you know, WWE, here's the problem I have with Taker and the streak. You know, I like the streak, but WWE, I think, just goes way too much into it. And what I mean by they go way too much into it is simply the fact that they act like the streak is bigger than anything in the world, you know. I think they overplay the streak. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm a fan of The Undertaker, and I like the streak and all, but yikes, you know. But anyways, you know, Punk's had a good year in 2012. This was, you know, kind of the year of Punk for WWE-wise. You know, I know TNA, you could say, was a year for Austin Aries, and ROH, I guess you could say Kevin Steen and whatnot. So, yes, guys, I mentioned ROH in this video. Oh my god. You know it's a post-apocalyptic era when I mention ROH in a video. Anyways, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and you know what to do, comments, responses, y'all know.